Oh, oh, yes, yes, I am receiving such a healing flow today. Oh, it's just been such a marvelous, wonderful day. Oh, God has just been sending forth the sunshine of His love and His joy and His peace and His power in mighty surges. Oh, mighty waves. Oh, like the ocean at high tide, just mighty waves of healing power. And I am just beholding that and beholding that and beholding that and thinking about that and being receptive to that. And oh, to enlarge my capacity to heal. And we can really do that. We can enlarge our capacity much more than what it is now to be healers and to really be a successful at really demonstrating the healing power, at really manifesting a real healing of a disease that is bothering someone. Oh, we can really do that, and that is what is so shocking about it all. When I really begin to ask God, how much can I enlarge my capacity to heal, to be a healer, to be a person that can really be instrumental in causing another person to be able to be lifted up above disease and become in dominion and take possession of their dominion over disease. And he says that there is no limit to that. And that is what's shocking. You think, well, the answer you're going to get is, well, you may come to a point where you can only heal so many people, or you can only do so much, or occasionally, yeah, this is what we usually think. We think, yeah, if you keep on praying for enough people, and then occasionally one of them will be healed. So I think that's what a lot of people think. I'm just going to pray for enough people, and I'm just going to put the word out there so many times that somebody's bound to be healed, and so maybe I'll get credit for it. But no, that's not the way that it works, and that's not where we reach the end of our capacity. There is no limit to our capacity to heal, and the way that we enlarge that, it's all dependent on the way that we go about enlarging our capacity. If we do it in the right way, then we can keep on the rest of our lives enlarging our capacity a little more and a little more. We can add to it as we go along and get better at it more and more as the days go by. And that is what is something that gives us so many wonderful things to look forward to in the way of the miracles that are going to come. And we know that right now there's an immediacy right now of healing some, and then we're going to grow and be able to heal more. And so that it really gives us a great and wonderful joy to think about. But what we have to do to enlarge that capacity is, number one, willingness. You need to remember that willingness. You got to be willing, and say, well, God, what is it that I need to do to be a better healer? And then tell God you are willing, and you have the willingness to do that, the willingness to grow, the willingness to enlarge your soul, the willingness to be a healer, the willingness to take the time necessary. It's not going to be something magical that you're going to say, oh, I want to be a healer, but God, give me that healing power. Give me the gift of healing, and all of a sudden, just immediately, you're going to, all of a sudden, you'll have the, it's always possible with God that it needs something like that can happen. But that's not generally the way that we need to be looking at it. It's not something that's going to be just immediately bestowed upon us, but it's something where we have to enlarge our capacity day by day to become that healer. So that's where we have to be willing to do that. And then the second thing is becoming receptive to that flow of healing power, and knowing that that healing power is really already flowing, and the only reason we have been unable to heal people before in the past is that we were unwilling, or we were unknowledgeable about that power that is flowing and how much of it is flowing, and we were just simply not receptive to it. And so it was there, but we didn't receive it. And so the receptivity, we got to have, first of all, willingness, then receptivity. And then next will become beholding. Beholding, like 1 John 3 and 1 and 2 says, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. And that beholding is mentioned a number of times in Scripture, and it always means that you bring yourself to a full attention. In other words, undivided, like we often hear, give me your undivided attention. That's what he's saying. Give me your undivided attention. The pure in the heart shall see God, it says. Give me your pure, unalloyed thought, and behold with your undivided attention what is fixing to follow. And then he says, behold what manner of love the Father has bestowed and poured out upon this world. And so the same goes with the healing power. We have to behold with undivided attention and ask ourselves, how much healing power has God poured out upon this world in view of all the passages where he talks about beholding his love, and how he says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, and all these different ways that God is expressing his love. And we start to see how that love that is being poured out upon the world is so great as to produce healing and produce balance and produce a sense of understanding and wisdom in people. And we can behold then the power that we want to receive. We can begin to behold that healing power and look at all the things that Jesus did. Look at the things that other people have done that have been instrumental in healing. And just behold that healing power and behold who God is. Behold God's qualities. And so just we got to be willing to spend the time beholding the nature of all of this. And then the nature of God. We got to spend time beholding the nature of God. And as we spend time, asking, well, what is the nature of God? The nature of God is to love. The nature of God is joy and peace and happiness and harmony and all these marvelous things. And he's omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient, all knowing and all powerful and all present. And in him we live and move and have our being. We have to spend time beholding all of these different things like this that are the nature of God, and be able to put those things together in our mind to create a picture that we can understand about who God really is, and how large he is, how big he is, how magnificent he is, and how tremendous he is, and how much power he has, and how all present he has, and how much all knowledge he has, and all wisdom he has. And as we put all that together, see that in a sense of great awe, and see the magnificence of something as if it were a great high mountain reaching clear up through the sky, clear up into space, and full of power and love and healing, and full of healing virtue and healing power and healing authority. And see that all reaching throughout this universe, and just stopping and seeing how shocking that is, and letting it shock you a while, let it startle you a while, let it awaken you a while, let it saturate upon you a while, let it fill you a while, let yourself be filled to the fullness with all of this awareness of who God is. But you're not going to be able to fill yourself with it if you don't take time to stop and go over it and begin to catalog all these different things about God and who he is, and begin to think about it and put it all together. then you won't be startled because you'll not have put it all together. And so we have to get to the place where we're actually totally shocked and startled by all that power. Just like I was the first time when God said, when I asked how much capacity can I stand to gain, or how much capacity can I gain if I spend enough time being filled with all this and seeking God and staying in His presence and praying and being receptive, how much can I enlarge my capacity? And He tells me it's unlimited, totally unlimited. He said, I'm not going to put a ceiling upon it, because you're never going to, first of all, come to the end of the enlargement of your capacity. You're going to be enlarging your capacity throughout eternity. But then, second of all, it's way beyond all of the furthest imagination, and you're going to have to enlarge your capacity some before you'll even be able to enlarge your imagination enough to see how far you're going to be able to enlarge yourself. And so He cannot tell me at this point, because I am still not enlarged enough to understand all of the capacity that I can have. But this is how we enlarge our capacity. See, if you're following me, this is the very way that we enlarge our capacity. It's by beginning to understand these things and beginning to ask these questions and beginning to be startled by the fact that that it is unlimited. And that in itself, understanding the unlimited nature of it, and when we first realize that itself enlarges our capacity. And so we went over all these things about, and also getting rid of the resistance. In other words, don't stop fearing it, and stop doubting it, and stop listening to people that don't believe in healing. All of those different things like that, fear and doubt and believing people and listening to people, causes a resistance to be put up there, a wall to be put up there against these thoughts coming to you that will awaken you and startle you and cause you to have something to actually behold. And so we went over that, all of those things, such as the qualities and beholding the qualities of God, and being willing, and then being receptive, and then beholding the qualities of God, and then beholding now the great capacity that we have to become great healers, and beholding all that every day in our mind and letting it grow upon us, and taking notes on it and writing in our journal about how much God has showed us today, and beginning to ask God to show us more every day, and beginning to set that before us as a great vision, beginning to ask for more vision. Without a vision, the people perish. Without a vision, our healing ministry is going to perish. Without a vision, everything will perish. We have to begin to enlarge our vision in order to see what all God can actually do, and enlarging that vision will enlarge our capacity to heal. And so it's a marvelous, miraculous thing that's going to begin to take place in the healers now in this world, because of all of the things that are going on, the many diseases and all that God is frankly getting tired of hearing all these diseases and rumors of diseases. And He's going to start sending forth healers with a large capacity to heal, and they're going to start going forth and healing people. And it's going to be a real healing, a real and true, not going to be a trick or a trickle, but a real flow of healing power, where people are actually going to be raised up and lifted up. And so I'm going to pray for that to happen. And I'm going to pray now for everyone listening to this, that you will be healed of everything that is pulling you down, and you will be able to enlarge your capacity. We pray that you will be healed of any form of cancer, or any root of disease that is beginning to start, that you will be healed of all kidney disease, all lung disease. You'll be healed of all liver disease. You'll be healed of all bone problems, all osteoporosis, any kind of arthritis or rheumatism. You'll be healed of all these things now. And oh, dear God, that you will be broken. All of your addictions will be broken. You'll break the addiction. God will break the addiction to heroin. He'll break the addiction to cocaine. He'll break the addiction to all the opioids. He'll break the addiction to any of the disease of fentanyl or anything of methamphetamine. And He'll break those addictions. Break the addictions to nicotine. Break the habit of smoking. And oh, dear God, now the great power that you're going to pour out upon people to raise them way above all depression, all sense of oppression, all sense of obsession with the things of this life. You're going to break all of them and raise them up into a high mountain of joy with peace and power like they have never had before. We ask all these things in the name of thy Holy Son, Jesus.